Always great to hear from you too. Here's another just random idea I had. So I guess technically we talk about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can talk about it a little bit. So, this is the Disney Hercules movie and TV show, right?
Yes. It Disney's Hercules. It is probably on the later end of the sort of classic Disney era. When you say?
Yeah, it's near the end of the '90s era Disney afternoon. Those were the days.
And of course the classic Disney twist.
Yeah, the classic Disney twist where they make everything a little bit more palatable and a little less how can I put this politely?
Say
Incredibly
inappropriate.
freaking toxic.
Oh yes. Yes. But still there's enough mythology themes, or at least blinky you miss it things that you can sort of sink your teeth into at the very least. Now,
Yeah. It gives you that opening that allows you to uh that that opening that goes, maybe I should investigate more Greek mythology.
yes, we all start somewhere. How I always refer to the series as basically Hercules Smallville.
Yes, that's the perfect way to describe it.
The intro, by the way, is definitely a good idea. It is Zero to Hero.
Yeah, it's a remix
Yes.
of the Zero to Hero song from the original from the original movie. Basically, whereas the original movie is telling you Herc has become a hero. This remix is like he will be a hero, but he's in training right now.
Yes, exactly. I've gone and started right
Shopping and bargains
Yeah,
abound. This
and
luxury and
and
luggage in Santa's
immediately as soon as the show begins, we get our first contradiction between the show and the movie, where because Hercules is already in his heroic armor, which he didn't get until he was an adult.
Oh, I never even thought about that. 'Cause
Yeah,
he
that's
did he did
first
just he only had the like the sort of the dress
the
clothes
toga and
thing,
stuff.
right? The toga, yes.
Yeah,
Alright.
speaks and fun and fashion and so much more. To save us.
Okay, I also noticed what looks to be a tiny Trojan type character.
yeah,
Okay, that looking kind of familiar to you, or they just
they're
tacked
just
on
being silly again.
Okay.
Sack of drachmas on
Of course, we
every
have Cassandra, which really doesn't make sense because Cassandra is from the Trojan War, which happened long after Heracles was dead.
Okay, yes, her. Now, who is this character? Is this supposed to be technically?
That's Cassandra, who you might remember from the Trojan War. She was the prophetess who had visions of the future, but no one ever believed her. The problem is, the problem is obviously the Trojan War is the end of the heroic age. This is long after died and ascended to a god. They probably did. Literally could not go to high school together since Heracles was dead by the time she was a baby.
Yes. Now, it does. I'm gonna guess it does a lot of that thing where I see, uh, sort of. I don't know if you ever played Dynasty
Mhm.
Warriors, but Dynasty
Yes.
Warriors will take characters that were famous, put them together, but if you actually look at the timeline, one character should be like 40 and the other one's like 7 years old.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it
Just
just
doesn't work.
no. Yeah. And the other character is Icarus, which I'm going by that from just
Mhm.
pure memory.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yes. Who looks like a crackhead here.
Oh yeah, that's supposed to be Icarus with the spiky hair and stuff. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
supposed to be Icarus. In this show, apparently flying too close to the sun, instead of, killing him, just took his brain a little bit.
Oh, all right. I guess it's a little bit nicer.
Yeah. Slightly less he is slightly less dead than he was in the at the end of his original myth.
Yes. A little bit, though he does kind of look like he would be addicted to like trying to fly or something.
Oh yeah. He looks like he chases the dragon.
All right.
Keep wondering. Parentheses will give the in crowd all the great jobs, and we'll end up enslaved in humiliating drudgery, as usual.
Adonis, you pampered pup, shall work for Panasonicles, the king of big screens.
How fitting. I am royalty, you know.
I also caught the name Adonis. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the character.
Oh yeah, Adonis is another Greek character. He is obviously Adonis was a Greek mythology hero. Well, hero is
Scratching it, maybe.
kind of yeah, stretching it. But he was a character in Greek mythology who the goddess Aphrodite fell in love with, and was raised by Persephone, and they had a whole scandal about who was going to keep him. It was a whole thing. But here he is an arrogant preppy boy,
Which is
which I guess the problem. Look, I can't say if that's accurate or inaccurate to the myths because Adonis really didn't have a personality in the myths. His personality was
no, you were saying right. His personality is hot boy.
exactly. So him being an arrogant douchebag, I don't know if that's accurate or inaccurate because they didn't really describe his personality. He just existed. Also, I don't think I need to say this, but they did not fast food style mutton joints in ancient Greece. I feel like I don't need to say that, but just in case you in the audience didn't know, that wasn't a thing.
Work?
Cassandra, our little ray of sunshine, shall staff the information booth.
This isn't terrible. I don't hate this.
Icarus, Zeus help us, you are going to work
I
with
do
Aphrodite.
like how they color code each of the gods in the series, especially the appearance of Athena, because Athena is her most used epithet is gray-eyed Athena, and they have her entire body gray here.
A minor information used correctly.
Yeah.
Reference. I think that's the
Now,
word I look for.
yeah, minor reference, but I also do like the picture of Poseidon here that they have for Poseidon. If you see him,
Yeah.
they give him a very fishy appearance with the fish fin instead of hair. I like that. That is clever. If you look at 554, you'll see Athena, as I mentioned before, in gray and blue, Ares in
Let me
red,
lay the
and
minutes of our
Hephaestus
last meeting on you.
in pure gray with uh, uh, hair shape
I
and
mean, those. If you
with
were
hair
to
shape like
get
microphones.
yes, if you were to give them colors, that is kind of perfect.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yes, and Whitey Owl.
I also like,
Is that a thing?
yeah, Athena. One of Athena's familiars was the owl. That was her sacred bird. The way Zeus had the eagle. So that's clever. That's another really good reference. A lot of people are going to be mad at me for this, but this is a confession. I don't like their version of Hermes, who we first see. Well, we've seen him a couple of times, but there's another really good picture of him at 556. It's I don't know if it's the shades or how small he is. I just don't. This doesn't scream her. If he didn't have the Codicus, it just wouldn't scream Hermes to me. If he didn't have his Codicus with him to let me know that he's Hermes.
He is a little goblinish. I do notice that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has goblin energy, and I don't really like it.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Does sort of get the short end on the design wise. But I think they were just thinking small and fast and just went a little, perhaps a little.
Zeus, of course, still looks like Zeus. Like, there's not really everyone's seen the Disney version of Zeus. There's nothing new we can say about it.
Mm-hmm.
I do like how his hair is clouds, though. Like, that's clever.
Oh
Making
yeah,
Zeus's hair clouds. I don't think I mentioned that before, but that is still really clever.
guess goes the whole Skyfather type thing. But
It is more sci-fi looking.
yes. What the heck I was gonna say? Oh yes. A little bit before this, he turned into, well, not turned into, he possessed a statue. Is that one of his abilities? Because he does that in the movie as well.
He has done that in mythology before. That is actually something that he